Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Scholz. Today we have a story of, well, if it wasn't so focused on the church, I would say magic. This is Riza. In the first quarter of the 9th century, when the pious Ludwig, son of Charlemagne, was struggling with his misguided children for the imperial crown, a church was built in Koblenz to Saint Castor, the missionary who had spread Christianity in the valley of the Mosel. The four-towered edifice rose on a branch of the Rhine. The palace of the Frankish king stood at this time on the highest southwestern point of Koblenz, on the site of a former Roman fort, and nearby was a nunnery dedicated to Saint Castor. In this building lived Riza, a daughter of Ludwig the Pious who had early dedicated her life to the church. Every day, this king's daughter went to Mass in the Castor church on the opposite side of the Rhine. So great grace had Riza found in the sight of our Lord, that, like his disciple of old on the Sea of Gennesareth, she walked over the Rhine dry-footed to the Holy Sacrament in St. Castor's. One day, the sacred legend goes on to say, the stream was agitated by a storm. For the first time doubt entered the maiden's heart as her foot touched the waves. Prudently tearing a prop from a neighboring vineyard, she took it with her for a staff over the troubled waters. But after a few timid steps, she sank like St. Peter on the Galilean lake. In this wretched plight she became full of remorse for her want of faith in God. She flung the stick far away, and lifting her arms toward heaven, committed herself to the sole protection of the Almighty. At once she rose up from the waves and arrived, with dry feet as heretofore, on the other side. More than ever after this did Riza, this saintly daughter of a saintly king, strive to excel in those works which are pleasing to God. She died within the cloister, and her bones were laid in the Castor church, near the burial place of the saint. Soon the popular imagination canonized Riza, and her marble tomb is still to be seen in the north transept of the Castor church at Koblenz. And that is the very short but very magical story of Riza, a princess who could walk on water. This is Dan Scholz from the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Overcast, anywhere you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Twitter at Folktale Project. You can find us on Auto Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere you like to listen. And you can always head over to folktaleproject.com, where you'll find a new story waiting for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please head over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen and leave a rating or a review. And if you'd like to help support the podcast, you can head over to folktaleproject.com/support, where you can always buy us a coffee or become a Patreon patron. As always, thank you so much for listening.